Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. And I want to do that through consistency and discipline. So I am here for a weekly budget check-in. Weekly, it's a whole word. So weekly budget check-in for this last week, 9/15 to 9/21. I got paid today, and I start a new week on Fridays now to kind of coincide with paydays. And I run my week from Friday to Thursday. So it's time to start a new week. I want to go ahead and recap what I was able to accomplish on last week. So we will jump right into it. I would like to say thank you to everybody who's liked, commented, or even subscribed to my YouTube station. I truly started this as a way to keep myself accountable, but I do understand, recognize, respect, and appreciate folks that want to have this journey with me or take this journey with me, because there really is support within the community, and I appreciate it a lot. So thank you for that. All right, so I am going to, I've already gotten a little bit of cash. I think stuff down in here somewhere. Yeah, so that's for later. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's take out my cards. I did not do anything today. Haven't spent any money today. So these cards are still up to date for right now. So I'll put this over to the side, pulled out the cards. Let me do this real quick. I always forget, but no spend. So no spend days. I've only gotten one for this past week, which is sad because that leaves me just with one more week to try and get to 10. Right now I'm at 4. I would have had another one, so I got one on the 19th, and I would have had one on the 20th as well. But I went to pick up Corinne's glasses, and Carmelo, that's what I call my car. Carmelo was on fumes, and he was not happy about that, and I did not want to risk it, so I did stop, get $10 worth of gas from a BP, but that means that I don't have another no spend day there. So it's going to be tight. I'm not sure that I can reach my 10 days for no spend, but we will see. So there's that. And then I did update my tracker cards and keep those updated for this past week. Spent a lot on groceries, I guess, as we look down here, and some dining out as well. So we'll talk through that. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. Let's see if I can do that. Can I? I should. All right, let's try again. There you go. All right, took me a minute to figure it out. Okay, so I took the cards. I've already documented all of this information here. I am going to start new cards, and that's what you see over here in the corner. I'm going to start new cards for a new pay period, but I did not fill these out or pre-fill them out because I am going to have to change the balance amount, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So here's my information for this week and the spending that I did. Now, I did go out of town last week, went home to South Carolina, so you do see a few more gas purchases here than typical, as well as dining purchases also. And then, of course, grocery store, you have quite a few of those as well. I kept forgetting things, and I had to keep going back, and so I do have to do a little bit better job of tracking. I do keep in my wallet, I do make a grocery list, but I did not have that completely filled out, and I thought I did, but it wasn't. It didn't account for the additional days that I'm having to cover groceries, and so I did have to make a few trips, but we'll go ahead and add all of those up. So we'll start with groceries first. I gave myself $125, so 25 plus, no, that's dining, so groceries down here. So 75, 21, and 9 was $105. So 105, and that leaves me 20. I can tell that I don't have to worry about using a calculator. So that leaves me $20 for that. Gas was 32, and like I said, I did go out of town, so I used a lot more gas than typical, and I am starting a gas buffer so that I had that available for these times when I go out of town. I will be going out of town again around the 1st of October. So, all right, so that is 78, and I gave myself 50. So that's a negative, I was about to mess up. Let's erase that. So it's a negative $28 on that one. Dining, 25, 12, 16, 20, and down here 11. So that's $84. And that's a negative 24 as far as I'm over by $24 on that one. Entertainment, not spent. So that's 15 that I still have left. Home, I spent $16. That's 16. All of these should be minus. Probably should have put those. So minus 16. This leaves me with $14. Personal, I may have gone over on personal. 10, 6. Nope, that's it. 16. So that leaves me with $4 under budget. Shopping, orange is $24. So that leaves me $6. Okay, and then miscellaneous is 8, and then 10. So I went to World of Wings to get me some wings, some fish actually. And I used cash. It just was easier to do it. I actually had $10. It was $10 and some change. I had the exact amount there in my wallet, and I pulled it out, and I realized that really should have gone under dining, but because I used cash and I only have cash for miscellaneous items, I went ahead and marked that under miscellaneous for that one. So 8 and 10, 18, and that means that I'm under budget by $22. All right, so let's add all of this up, and then we'll talk about this savings one that you see down here at the bottom. So we've got 105, 78, 84. I hope that was an 84. 16, 16, 24, 18. So 341. Try that again just to be sure. 105, 78, 84, 16, 16, 24, 18, 341. All right, and 341 minus, well, 370 from 370 equals a negative 29. So I have $29. I'm in the positive or in the green by $29 for this budget, and that's pretty good for me. I went over last week, I think it was. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was a couple of weeks ago when I went over. But I hope this trend continues, and we'll talk about that in a second, the reason why. So down here at the bottom, you'll notice withdrawal of $29. So I had this available in my $29. There you go. Move it up a little bit. $29 available in my variable expense account. So because of that, I kind of withdrew it or took it out. Basically what I did was I took the $40 if you add, because all of this was done on yesterday, the 21st, right? So 29 plus 11 equals $40. So what happened, oh, sorry about that. So what happened was I took out $40. I used 11 of it to get some food. And then the other $29 I put into my savings jar so that I could use that for savings challenges. That reduced the amount of money that I had to take out of my paycheck to put towards savings challenges because I just rolled over what I had left. I don't know that I'll be doing that going forward, but I did do it for this week, and that seemed to work out very well. So with that said, I told you that I've got to start my new cards for this week, and I'm going to zoom back out. All right, I'm starting my new cards for this week, and what I did not turn that around because it's got a whole lot of stuff just hanging out of it. All right, so what I have going on is that my daughter found out today that she got laid off today. And she's a little upset, but not too upset. You know, these millennials and Gen Zers and all of that, they work out a little different, or they handle things a little differently. So, but anyway, with that, a lot of the money that she was giving to me was going towards student loans, and I want to continue that to happen. So I want to make sure that I continue the student loans and making those payments so that we can get that part paid off. With that said, I also recognize that some of that money I was using that was left over to cover the variable expenses and how much I was setting aside. So I was doing $370 every week. But now with me not receiving that, she will be receiving some money. She still has a check coming in, some other severance. She has, unemployment, all that stuff will probably be coming in, but I will not charge her any money for that. So in order for me to cover the cost of her Sallie Mae student loans, I was going to start to use some of that money for the Nelnet student loan. So I need to absorb that too. I realized that I need to cut back on my variable expenses even more, right? So I need to do things a little bit different. I bumped this number up from 335 to 370. That felt comfortable and right. I might be bumping that back down to as well. And I'm bumping it down just a little bit more. So we'll talk about that now. So what I have now as far as what I want to do, expense tracking. And again, with these amounts that you're seeing, I'm going to do my best not to spend this much, right? But this is what we have for right now. So groceries, I'm going to give myself 120 instead of 125. Gas, I'm going to go back down to 40 instead of 50. I'd gone from 40 to 60. I backed it down to 50 because I wasn't using as much gas. I'm going to try and get away with 40 if I can. For shopping, I left that at $30. Miscellaneous, I left that at $40. And that's the cash that you see. Remember, I'm going to be taking cash out. Where is it? There it goes. I have that $40 kind of stuck inside there. So I'll use that for miscellaneous. If I don't have to use it, that's what will get rolled over into my savings for my savings challenges. And then for dining, I took $10 off. So instead of 60, we'll do 50. Personal, I took $10 off instead of doing 20. We came down to 10. I'd gone from 20 to 15, then to 20, back to 20, and now I'm down to 10. And home, I'm going to leave that at 30. I brought that down from 50 to 30, and I have not done entertainment in 4 weeks, maybe even 5 weeks. So I'm going to put a 0 for that for now. Now I'm batting down the hatches or something like that. They tend to say I'm bringing everything back in, not because there's going to be bills that I don't think that I can pay, but just because I don't want to get caught in a situation where things are tight because I tried to leave things as they were. So I do sometimes see, and we have all seen it, that you might have a little bit of lifestyle creep when it comes to variable expenses. That's probably where I saw more of my lifestyle creep. I don't have a lot of extra bills. I don't do a lot of extra shopping, nothing like that. But I do recognize that I was spending more money in variable expenses than I probably had to, because I did have a little bit of that cushion in there. So I am going to back that out some. And then I talked about during my budget with me that I was going to start to contribute and make an interest-only payment to Kohl's so that I could start working on that. So we were working on student loans, working on that Best Buy that I had transferred over to the Discover bill. All of those are still going to be in play, but I was going to work on a third thing, and I was going to start paying the interest. It was around $65, the interest every month on top of my monthly payment for Kohl's to start bringing that number down. So we're probably going to suspend that, right? So that I can bring some of that money back in. I'll also look through my budget. We're going to go a couple of weeks and then I'll see, do I need to remove my gym membership? Do I need to cancel Audible? Do I any streaming services? Although most of those are paid for through other items that I have. So the HBO Max that I have, it's because of my AT&T. It comes free with AT&T. Hulu, Disney, ESPN come free with Verizon. So I don't pay for a lot of the subscriptions overall. But, do I need to change that and bring that back out? I don't know. We'll see. I tend to always want to do something whenever I hear news that isn't great. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's looking for a job necessarily. So I do have to recognize that I might be, going a little bit too far with this, but at the end of the day, do I think I might have to help with car insurance for her? I don't know, maybe so. So I'm just trying to prepare myself for that. So I am looking at different bills. I am not going to be contributing anymore to the additional interest only payment to Kohl's. I did do it this morning and I felt good about it, but we're going to need to back that off. And then I'm backing off on some of this money as well as far as variable expenses. And I'm going to see if I can track better to this number, maybe even lower. We shall see. So when I complete my cards, my expense cards this time, and write in those balances, these are some of the new balances that I'm now going to be tracking for. And I think that is it. So thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.